Hi everyone, I hope you're well. Today we're going to work on the glutes, the core and more. So everything is connected in the body in some way or other. So when you work one section, it does have an effect on other areas. So we're going to firstly activate the glutes and then build up the level of intensity as we go along. And then we'll move on to the core and we'll just mix it up a little bit to make it interesting. I'm going to set the timer for 40 seconds on, 20 seconds rest or between the movements, getting from one position to the other. The timing is completely up to you. Some of the moves may be a bit challenging, and if they are, you can modify them obviously, or if you feel the need to intensify them, you can go up to the higher level, okay? So let's get started. We're going to start with the glutes and we're going to get some activation there. And obviously you know that when you're sitting a lot during the day, the glutes tend to switch off and it's hard to get them to work, to fire up. So we're going to start with a basic movement and then we're going to build the level as we go along. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to take the strap. I have a strap and I have a block. If you don't have a strap or a band, you can use a tie or a belt. So we're going to just lay down here. The strap is above just below the knees on the thighs. The feet are out wide, the shoulder blades are down your back, and all I'm doing is taking the knees a little wider. So I'm pushing wide against the band. My sacrum is heavy on the floor. I'm giving my back nice length, so I'm not curling the tailbone up. I'm just letting the sacrum heavy on the floor. My shoulder blades are down my back, and I'm just you may not even feel this, but it'll build up as we go along. Okay, so as I said, if you don't have a band like this, a strap or a tie, just to put around the thighs and press against it. Okay, so elbows underneath your shoulder for your next level. Your feet are out to the edges of the mat or wide as you can, so there is resistance on the legs. And then we take the knees wide again. So we're just taking it up a notch, up a little level. Hollow out the core as you do this, and watch that you're not slouching down. So you lift away from the floor with your upper body. You're not letting yourself sink. You lift up and away. Broaden through the collarbones. Lift your body. Press your feet down into the floor, because the energy has to come and move through the body, not just in one section. It's working a little bit of everything. And breathe nice and smoothly. Keep the core strong though. Don't let yourself sort of drift off here. Stay with it. Okay, and from there we're bringing it up to a higher level. So the higher level, obviously, there's a sharper angle here, so there's a bit more of a challenge. The hands can turn out wide, so the shoulder blades are going down your back. Again, you anchor to your feet. You breathe nice and smoothly. Lengthen the spine. And then you take the knees out wide here at the top. The head is being drawn up. So keep lengthening your spine all the way through with all the movements. Even when you're doing a basic curl up, you still have length in your spine. Make sure you remember that. I'm really trying to get some heat generating here into the glutes, and it's working. I'm beginning to feel it already. Nice and strong with the movement. And if you just did this every day, you'd be doing a great job, because you need to get some life back into those muscles. Okay, and then we're taking the band away now, and we're going to bring ourselves into a bridge with a block. Okay, so the block or a cushion or a book, whatever you have handy, goes between the thighs, and we're going to lay down. And again, now we're going to bridge it up, but we're going to firm the legs in together. So shoulder blades down your back, breathe, and lift. And lift. Pressing the feet into the floor as you lift your hips up, driving through the glutes. Okay, get the shoulder blades down your back so you're not letting the chest close. Breathe. Nice and smooth. There's no sharpness here. And take it slow, so don't start rushing through it. Don't use speed here. This is about concentration and focus on specific areas. Make them work. We're going to hold it at the top and we're going to just pulse. We're just going to do this for 20 seconds, okay? So we're trying to just intensify it slightly. So I'm going to add on little bits in the middle, just to make it a bit more interesting. So the pulse is nice and strong. And you breathe into it, okay? And then you bring it down. Now we're taking the block away and we're going to bring it into a crab. So we're going to open up the body, chest open, and we're lifting the hips. Squeeze the glutes up and release and lift. So the shoulders are working here, the arms are working as well. So I really want to drive up through the hips, lifting them high to the sky. And as you do that, you squeeze through the glutes and you press your feet down. Center your body. Make it strong. Lengthen your spine, tailbone drawing away in the head, nice and high. Don't let your head fall back. Keep lifting and driving up, okay? Now we're going to change that. We're going to do a single leg crab and we're going to hold it. So we're just going to take it back here and stretch that out for a moment. Turn the head side to side, loosen up the neck and release any tension that might, you feel it in the back line. So you want to stretch that out a little bit. And then you want to prepare to bring it up again. So we're taking it up, hold it up, lift yourself up, lift the sternum to the sky as well, and then take the leg up and hold. Now what will want to happen as you do this, the hips will want to sag down. 40 seconds here is a long stretch. So if you feel that you need to rest it, rest it. So you're working a lot of areas here, but I want you to really squeeze the glute on the leg that's supporting you, so that the concentration is there. Yeah, it's working. I can feel that firing up very, very much so. Okay, and then I release my foot, release the body down, release the back down. Give your shoulders a rest, give your neck a rest, give your glutes a little stretch. Take a breath, bring yourself back up to prepare, and change in sides. Get the shoulder blades down your back. Lengthen the spine. Be aware of it. And lift your hips and then take the other side. Pay attention now to see if there's a difference in the sides. Is one side weaker or stronger? Have you dropped your hips out of line? Can you make sure that you're controlling the position equally on each side? It is challenging. Certainly is. If the arms get tired, you rest it. If the shoulders get tired, you can rest it. But really try and squeeze the glute on that supporting leg. Lift up, pull yourself to the sky. Really lift up all the way through. Release it down, release the foot. Roll the shoulders here. We're going to roll over, release the wrists here, roll over and take it into a prone position. Taking the hands underneath the forehead, let the legs out wide. Make the hip joints, the two hip points draw into each other. Pull your belly in tight. Lift your legs. Get the shoulders away from your ears. Take the legs out an inch, in an inch, and down. Lift, out an inch, in an inch, and down. So, again, you're not allowing your belly to fall into the floor. You're pulling the belly in. So don't let this lower back take all the pressure. You want to get the glutes to do the work. So therefore your pelvis must remain more or less in neutral as you lift and lengthen and then squeeze the legs out wide a little bit. It's not a massive move. You don't want to lift with height. You want to lift with length. Okay? Okay. Bring it in. Push up your arms. Sit back in the heels and take a moment to stretch out there. Loosen out the hips here. We're going into plank position. We're going into plank hover. So we're taking ourselves into nice strong position. Press the floor away. We're going to lengthen the legs. And as we lengthen the legs, we firm the quads. So pull the kneecaps up, hollow out the core, squeeze through the glutes. Make it all work. Knees hover and then they lengthen. And then lengthen. So adjust your position so the hands, the wrists are underneath the shoulders. And really fire up. When you lengthen the legs, push the heels away. Don't let your head collapse down. Keep the midsection strong. Get the shoulder blades wide on your back so there's a protraction of the shoulder blades. There really is a lot working. Release it down, sit back, rotate the wrists. Give the wrists a little breather. We're going into a saw, a plank saw, but we're going onto our elbows. So we're going to position ourselves here, elbows on the shoulders. Lengthen the spine. Hollow out the core. Breathe, lift your feet, or knees, sorry I should say. Walk your feet back. And then walk your feet forward. Hollow out. Walk your feet back. And then walk forward. So really, you know, you can see what's happening with the shoulders here. You can see what's happening all the way through the back line and the front. You zip your belly in. Really stretch as far back as you can. Keep the hips elevated. If your hips start dropping there, you need to rest it. This is a strong workout, so if you do need to rest it, make sure you do take that time to recover before you move into the next one. We're going into hip twist. So again, this is a bit of work on the shoulders as well as the waist. So the legs are up from the legs. We're rotating with dip, lift. Rotate onto the toes, rotate to the side, dip, lift. Center, side, dip, lift. Center, rotate, dip, lift. When you lift, make sure you feel this lower side of the waist working. Dip, lift, turn, down, up, center, down, up, center. Press away from the floor. Now, okay, so we're getting the shoulders to have a little bit of a breather. We're going into the leg lift here on the side. So your position, if your wrists are tired, you can use your fist. If your shoulder or neck is tired, you can rest your arm out here, but you can have your hand here also. So you see your feet at the bottom corner, front corner of the mat, lengthen, and you lift your top leg. There's no locking out of the joints, so the top knee is slightly soft, but the leg is long. And I want to try and focus on hips being stacked. Okay, so you're not dropping this hip in. Keep length on both sides of the waist. Bottom side is long as well. And you just lift your leg. So make sure the leg doesn't swing behind you and the hips fall forward. You can have a hand here just for balance if you want. So the top leg is lifting and this side of the body is going to work. Okay, hold the leg up if you can and then take the lower leg to touch it. Some of you might find that this area here on the mat can be a little bit tender or delicate, so you might want to have a folded towel underneath that. Now hold the two legs together. Lift the top leg up, take the lower leg up to touch and down slightly. Top leg up, lower leg up to touch and down slightly. Keep lengthening, top, lift, lower lift and down. Hollow out, lift, lift and down. Lift, lift and lower. Really long legs now. So this section, the obliques, really, it's going to start working very quickly. Top, lift and lower. Top, up and lower. Top and lower. All the way, outer thighs, inner thighs, connected into the core. Two legs now. We're going to rest it for a moment. Pull the knee in, loosen out the leg if you need to. You know, shake it out if you want. Prepare, because we're going to do the two legs together now. Lift them up at the same time. So lengthen your legs, prepare to position. Inhale and lift, 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 lift. Keep that shoulder blade away from your ear. You know, get the chest to remain open. Don't start collapsing into the chest. There's a bit of work in this one. So if you need to modify it, you can bend the knee and do one leg, or you can do two legs. You know, really make it work for you. There's a challenge here though, for sure. The legs are heavy. This is the area that's working to do that lift. We're going to hold it up here now. We're going to add a little bit more. Just while we have 20 seconds, I'm going to change it. I'm going to bring this knee in and extend away. Bring the knee in, bring the knee in, bring the knee in, and really reach that arm and leg. Okay, so we didn't have a rest there. Now I'm going to put the foot here and I'm going to lift this leg and lift the elbow. Inner thigh working on the lower side, oblique working on the top side. We're stretching away and we lift up. Really strong work here. And you know, you can rest in this point if you want. I'm just adding this in for a little bit more challenge. Breathe. If the neck gets tired, you can just rest your head on your arm and do the leg part. Okay, at any point, modify the move. Okay, so we're going to bring it up and we're going to change direction, or change sides, I should say. So set yourself up again. 2 feet to the front corner of the mat. Stack your hips, lengthen your spine, get the shoulder out of your ear, hollow out the core, have your neck in a good position, lift the top leg. So, it's interesting. Sometimes one side of the leg here will be feel uncomfortable on the mat and the other side won't feel the same sensation. So just, you know, that's natural, that's normal, it's not unusual, so don't get worried about it, but do have a little bit of extra cushioning if you need. Keep the hips, you know, in line and keep lengthening the waist all the time. Lengthen the spinal column. No compression there, always length and strength. Hold the top leg up to get the lower leg up to touch. So we're really trying to get things to work as well as possible. Hold the 2 legs together, lift the top leg, take the lower leg up to touch and down, top leg up, lower leg up to touch and down. Lower leg up to touch. Keep driving through the length of the legs. So you're not locking out the knees, but there is a nice length. The weight of the legs. There's a lot of weight in those legs, so, you know, that's why it's a challenge. Try not to tense the upper body. Top, lift, lower. Top leg up, lower leg lift, lower down. So we're not going to rest here. We're going to go straight into it, okay? We're going to lift the 2 legs up. Nice and smooth with the breath. Make sure the feet haven't drifted behind. See them. Whew. And now we're going to bring this top leg in, head rest down, arm over, elbow to knee. Pull it in, extend away. Pull it in, reach away. Lift and lengthen, up and down. So really try and squeeze the rib towards the hip. Really try and contract on that side. The knee wants to point up to the ceiling. You're not letting the knee fall down in front. You want to point it up and pull yourself up. Then we bring our head back and our foot onto the leg and we lift the leg. This inner thigh, if you haven't worked this area in a while, you're going to feel it. So, you know, be aware of that. If you want to add more in, you can pull the upper body up again. Try and get a little extra out of it. Okay? And then we'll bring it down. We're going to change that now. We're going to move on to some extra core work. So we're lying on our back here. We're just going to hold here for a moment. Turn head side to side. Feet down. Rotate to the side. Let the waist open a little bit. Center inside. Just preparing for the next bit. So we're going to start with activation of the core. Like it's been working all along, but we're just trying to get a little bit more fire in there. Bring it back up to center. Set your sacrum down. Take your knees up into tabletop. And take your hands onto your legs and press the legs away. Whew. As your knees, your legs are pressing towards your body and your hands are pressing them away. The chin, your neck is nice and long. Don't let the chin slip back, right? We're going to move into the strength work. So relax your shoulders down and just lift your tailbone. So it's just hip lifts. And then we settle down. We use the lower abs. Think of the two front hip points drawing into each other as you lift your tailbone up and down. Try and think of, just a small lift. It's not too big. Just a little curl up from the tailbone. And try not to press down with your arms. You want to focus on the lower abs doing that lift. And there might be a slight pause at the top as well, make it more challenging. We're going to bring it up and we're going to bring it onto our elbows. And when we're here, we make sure that we have a good position. So our chest is open again, we're lifting up, we're not dropping ourselves down, we lift away from the floor. Our chin is tucked, we bring our legs into tabletop and then we extend our legs. Hollow out the core and cross your legs here. Lower them down, no rush involved here. Don't go too quick. Doesn't have to be too big either. You don't have to go too low to the floor. Challenge your body, but challenge it safely. Always be mindful of that. Don't think that you have to go to the deepest level to make it work. To be honest, the simple stuff done properly is very effective. It's just a good way to work. Play it safe. Pull the belly in. So we're crossing the legs down and bringing them up, okay? Lay yourself down, hug your knees in. We're going into a double leg stretch. So again, settle yourself, prepare for the movement. The legs come into tabletop. The chin stays strong in the position. Our arms go away and our legs go away. We firm the legs, inhale. Slide the arms out wide and bring our hands up to tap the ankles or somewhere along the legs. And then we extend up, exhale up, inhale back, exhale up, inhale back, exhale up, inhale back, exhale, reach. If you want to make it more challenging, you don't lower your upper body. But I like the movement with the upper body going up and down. Pull the belly in as you exhale. As you draw your knees in, you pull your belly into your body. We rest the head down. We turn the head side to side. Allow your neck to release a little bit because the muscles here, again, if you haven't done this sort of ab work in a while, the neck muscles can tire very quickly. So we're going to change into that. Hands beneath the head. This is going to be the knees draw in and lift up the hips and the legs go away. Now, when you're doing this, same principle applies. You do not want to let the back dome or the belly dome up or the back arch up. So you must make sure that you are working to a level that suits you. So the hips lift, hips lower, legs extend. If you go too low and you feel the back is lifting, you've lost your move. You've lost your strength. You've lost your focus. So modify it, make it work for you. Okay, so now we're bringing it in. That's a nice strong one for the lower abs. So really focus on good technique there. The back does not arch up. Now we're going to roll over. We're going to do an isometric position. And it's a cross body. So lengthen the legs, firm into a plank, and take one leg and cross it over to your opposite elbow. And hold. So you're holding this for 40 seconds. Pull your belly button to your backbone. Really activate that core. Try and have the knee draw up high in the arm. Do what you can, but really try and make it work well. 40 seconds is a long time here. The arms are certainly working. And I can see my knees dropping. Oh, I have to lift it up. Try and lift it up. Try and really burn it up. And bring it back. Yes, I will need a rest after that one. So make sure you're light on your feet as well, that you're not heavy on the foot that's on the floor. You try to pull everything up away from the floor. It's a tough one, so you know, do what you can. So we're going to change that to the opposite side. Firm away from the floor, pull your belly in, take your leg up. And you see my foot here, that's on the floor. I'm even on all the toes. I'm not rolling on one side of the foot. Then I pull this knee up. Not sure if talking is a good idea when I'm doing this. Whew. Lengthen the neck. Core, pull the leg high. Make it work. Lift. Away. There will be times when you want to give up. Try and think of doing another 5 seconds. Oh, sit back. That was tough. Allow your arms to relax. Well, it was tough for me. Maybe not you, but it was tough for me. Give your body a moment. Take your arms down. We're just letting that rest there for a moment. We're going to bring it into plank, hold, and that's the last one, okay? So plank hold with a few variations. Hollow out the core, elbows underneath the shoulders. Extension of the legs, press the floor away. Lengthen spine, breathe. Firm the quads, firm the glutes, firm the midsection, the powerhouse, the center. Lengthen the neck, use your breath. Imagine you're pushing the floor away and you pull your feet towards your arms and the arms towards the feet. If you need to rest it, you rest it. Do not force it. You've done a lot of work now already. If you can though, do another 10 seconds. Keep pulling the belly button to your backbone. Then take the hands up into a plank. Hold here. Take your hands out a little wider. Make sure you don't slip if you're on a timber floor. Take your feet out a little wider. Hold here, just a slight variation. Press the floor away. 10 more seconds. Bring the feet back in. Bring your hands back in. Bring your hips up. Stretch to the heels. Draw your heels away. Breathe, draw the heels down. Bring your body forward. Hold here, lift the leg. Lengthen the leg. Breathe, lift your spine to the sky, lift your belly to the sky. Release the foot, change over. Release the foot from one arm. Release, opposite arm. Release, release the knees. And release your body back. Release the head, let the knees be wide and just do a gentle stretch to the side. Wake up the side of the body there, loosen out, lengthen. Bring that length back in. Bring it to the center, change to the opposite side. Relax your head. Don't let the neck stress anymore. Give it a bit of a breather. Bring your hands back to center, take your hands down. Roll your spine. Pull. Draw the shoulder blades away from the ears. Lengthen to the back line. Bring your body forward. Release your elbows down. Release your hips down. Just roll your hips a little bit on the floor there. Elbows underneath the shoulders. Nice length in the front line of the spine. Open up through that area. Draw the crown of the head up. Draw the tailbone away. Lift, lift, lift. The shoulders did a lot of work there now as well, you know, so be mindful of that. And you know, sometimes your shoulders might tire before the rest of the body, so if you do need to take a breather, take a breather. Bring your body up. It's all about strengthening as you go. And like, you know, you need to build up that ability, okay? So if this is too much, stay on your elbows. But I want to open up the front line. I'm releasing myself down, I'm rolling over onto the back. I take my legs across, I let my two knees roll to the side, and I press. I imagine this top leg is pressing down on the lower leg. So I get a nice stretch here on the side of the body, you know, thinking of opening up. And also imagine the knees are being drawn away. I let my arms rest out here so that the chest is opening. Hang here for a little bit, give yourself a bit of time here. You know, really make the most of the cool down stretch. Very important for the body. Bring it back up to center, release. Reverse the opposite side, 2 knees to the side. Again, feel if there's a difference here. Maybe it's a little bit tighter, you know. So if it is, just give yourself a little bit more time in it and breathe into the ribs. Because when you breathe deeply, the rib cage expands and the muscles here, they have to do a little bit more. They have to lengthen a little bit more, and that's very good for the body. The breath can be very, it can be forgotten. It can be, the importance of it can be underestimated. You really do need to focus on breath as well as everything else. Bring the 2 knees back to center, unfold the legs. Take the ankle across over the knee and bring this in and press the knee away as you draw the opposite leg in. So get a little bit of a stretch here. Flex both feet if you can. Try and get some feeling of a stretch on this side. So this is like your chair stretch when you're sitting down. You can do this as well. Release it, change over opposite side. Obviously, you know, you can intensify this by going into pigeon or going higher into a position like so. You know, so just make it work for you. Flex the feet. Bring it into center. Hug your knees in. Roll yourself around. When you hug your knees in, don't pull them too sharply. Again, do things with awareness. Smooth and easy. Not easy as in very like no challenge. Easy as in no sharpness. Hug your knees in. Roll yourself up. Let your 2 feet come in. Let your knees out wide. Rock and roll on the hips there, and let the knees draw down to the floor. Open up your feet like a book. Have the knees draw down to open up on the inner thigh. Lift up through your spine. Draw the shoulder blades down. And just pause here. Try and visualize the knees are being drawn to the floor like magnets. They're being pulled down. And then release that. Take your legs cross. Take one hand to the floor, bring the opposite arm up and reach over. You can lower yourself down if you want, there's no pressure. Do what you need to make the most of it. And bring it down, change sides, over to the opposite side. Keep both hips heavy, don't let one hip lift. Keep them both heavy on the floor. Bring it back up to your 2 arms up, interlink your fingers, push the heels of the hands up to the sky. Wiggle yourself up a little bit taller. Turn the palms down, reach your arms forward, get the shoulder blades down. Lengthen through the neck, draw the shoulder blades away from each other. Release the arms down, take your 2 hands behind, open up the chest, lift up through the crown of your head. Then release the hands onto your thighs. Look over the shoulder and rotate your body. Just do a little spinal rotation, very important for your body. To remember how to rotate, how to move smoothly. Bring it back to center, release your shoulders. Shake out the shoulders, draw the chin to the chest, and then chin parallel, and then look up. Okay, chin to the center, ear to the shoulder, centered, and ear to the other shoulder. Obviously, that's something you do on a regular basis. Center, roll the shoulders, shake it out. So, there you go. There's a lot of work in that. You can build it up over time, and you can obviously add more to it as you go along. So it would be really helpful if you do a little warm up before you move into those moves, and I hope you enjoy it. Take care.